Troy Barnes. Today I oversee our prime labels and packaging business unit. Been with Taylor 39 years, coming up on 40. So it's been a great journey. Played football and then wrestled. Wrestling was my sport. My father was a state wrestler. My older brother was a state wrestler. I was fortunate enough to make it to state. So started that early, 6th grade. I think I started wrestling. Got invited up to the varsity teams to wrestle and practice with them. So I would say that was also tough because I cut a lot of weight back then. You know, you play football and then you're trying to cut 15, 20 pounds to go wrestle. You know, so that was tough. And then in the spring I'd do baseball. And so it was really busy doing activities, right? I mean, there was one to the next. And then in the summertime, typically playing on the Legion team or the Babe Ruth baseball team, along with just doing stuff with the family. Came here to Mankato State, probably because a bunch of my friends were coming here, and it's like, okay, let's go do that, right? You know, I think I signed up for business management, right, is kind of what I had in my head. I only went for 1 year, and then I quit. I was working part-time at Carlson Craft. In the afternoons, they'll go to school in the morning, work in the afternoon, and I liked the money, so I quit. And I started working full-time. And that was with old supervisor Jim Gibbs, who hired me. And that's kind of how it all started. You know, I needed a part-time job while going to MSU and got hired, and kind of the rest is, you know, almost 40 years later, here we are. 99 came around and Brad Schreier called and said, we just made an acquisition in Florida. Would you like to move with your wife? And I was like, we did the whole interview. We went down there and we're like, okay, we think we can do this. We committed to 3 years and we were there for 14. But that was the cool thing about Taylor, is they took a guy like me, and because I raised my hand and was willing, I get down there and I get training on the job.